Hey everybody, Jim and Goldman here with our first look at the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. Very cool trailer.
Yeah, you know, we didn't see a trailer for a while, but they delivered plenty in this one, including a lot of the new suit here, the very cool comics-accurate Spider-Man suit.
Andrew Garfield, of course, back as Spidey, and here, coming up, we're going to get our first look at the Rhino.
Yep.
The Rhino suit. I like the whole mech suit thing. Now, let's scroll back here. There we see Paul Giamatti as Alexei Sitsevich, I believe.
Why not?
How you say it, who becomes the Rhino. But we don't think this is part of the Oscorp technology here because I think there's some Russian writing on it. So we'll speculate more about that in a separate piece. But it's just kind of awesome to see the Rhino.
Yeah, but you see him standing up right there. So even though the poster shows him on all fours, it looks like he can do both.
Yeah. Now, who is this?
I mean,
this evil person?
That's got to be the Green Goblin. And you know, this trailer is not holding back. It's like there was speculation: would Harry or Norman become the Goblin? And here we're pretty much getting full out confirmation, like that poster teased, that Harry does become a version of the Goblin in this film,
including with different hair, pointy ears, and sort of a tinged skin.
And also, it's kind of an amalgam because in the Ultimate Comics, the Goblin serum made him into a creature, and then in the regular comics, he just wore a costume, and so here he's got a little bit of both.
I'm so sorry. And we get our first look here at Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker back together again here. And
this big fight sequence, which we're guessing all has to do with the Rhino, which sounds like it might be kind of an opening sequence.
Let's a little shout out there to the Daily Bugle, the Tumblr, an actual Tumblr, but you're going to like the in-movie meta moment.
Yeah.
That was, of course, Paul Giamatti.
And yeah, again, they're pulling from the Ultimate Comics, the original comics, and the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, in quite a lot of respects, I feel.
This is Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn.
Mm-hmm.
Now here, this is a huge revelation here. We have we were able to determine what some of these things are, including we see at one point Venom storage.
Yeah, Venom storage is listed on this. There's also a reference to the Eel Lab, which we'll see later in the film.
Ravencroft, the Asylum.
Ravencroft, the Asylum from Marvel. And then there's also an Oct mention here, which
will pay off later in the trailer. And then, of course, there's also mentions of Dr. Connor's file. So a shout-out back to the first movie. So Peter, finding out he's been tracked his whole life by Oscorp, going back to the mystery of his father, kind of the stuff from the first movie that didn't really pay off, frankly.
Yeah.
And here we see he's got maps all over his apartment, including Polaroids. Who still takes Polaroids? And
Parker,
pictures of Gwen.
Yeah, so either he's being extra stocky to a girl who's already his girlfriend, or there's stuff going on here.
He's got maps all over the place.
There's other pictures behind her as well.
Now, his dad's secret lab, it looks like. And we're going to see he discovers all sorts of stuff. There's Campbell Scott back as his father. Now, this fella right here, the mystery man.
The mystery man who was seen at the end of the first film in the post-credit scene in Kurt Connor's cell came to him.
Man in the hat. But even more interesting, we have octopus tentacles and vulture wings.
Vulture wings. Obviously a huge thing to put in this trailer. Giant setup for future villains. Kind of goes hand in hand with those files we were showing earlier. The fact that Oscorp is working on all of these things that could become Spider-Man's villains. That's actually something that was in the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series. It kind of had Norman Osborn as the person behind a lot of the villains. It's a cool way to connect it all and not have every villain be an accident, That there's this bigger threat looming. Bigger reason for it all.
And now here's Harry.
Yeah, go back on there, though, because I know a lot of people are already saying, Sinister Six, which I do think this is the setup for, but I will point out that in the earlier shot, which seems to be Harry coming down, there is a seventh door on the right there. So
what lies behind the seventh
Sinister
door?
6 plus 1 is like maybe Norman will be the seventh or something like that.
And he's also been beat up somehow, so clearly he's looking for a way to empower himself. Who would have beat him up, though?
I don't know. But
look at his neck. Was that a burn? Was he throttled? I don't know.
So Electro. I feel like there might be some Electro involved in that.
There we go.
Speaking of Electro, this is his origin. The Eels, another thing.
Jamie Foxx, of course, played by. Now these fellows here. We're going to see them a little later in the trailer. These appear to be thieves who break into Oscorp to steal some of the stuff that they're working on, and we think that they're in the employ of Rhino.
Possibly involved with the Rhino. I almost said the Lino. That'd be a crossover. And then, yeah, we get the full the Goblin glider.
But this young lady here in the window staring at Harry, we believe is Felicity Jones, whose role has not yet been revealed. Really.
No, she has not been revealed who she's playing. A lot of speculation about a certain Felicia Hardy that she's been coy about. But yeah, I have a feeling that is indeed her.
Now, here, of course, Chris Cooper as Norman Osborn. The first movie set up that he was dying and that a lot of this stuff, that all these experiments are tied to him trying to save his life. Not sure how much we'll actually get of Chris Cooper in these movies.
In this one, yeah, I think we'll get more of him.
You gotta love this here, just the Rhino nose. I mean, I love that they turned Rhino into basically a mech suit.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, yeah, Electro is the main villain as far as we know, but we don't see a lot of him in this trailer until near the end.
Now, right here, that looks to be Campbell Scott as an older Richard Parker fighting some sort of pilot gone bad here, trying to escape an airplane.
Now, you say older Richard Parker, so do you think this is present day and he's really alive, or do you think this is a big flashback?
I don't know. I mean, he looked like he had brown hair in those videos he left for Peter.
Because in the backstories that he thought his parents died in a plane accident. But yeah, there's certainly a plane fight going on there for Richard Parker.
Now here we see the Electro suit.
Yeah, most of the images we've seen have him in that hoodie, but we did see one other photo released of this full costume that he does get at some point.
Jamie Foxx also has that almost like barcode
it's
thing.
It's like an electronic reader. It has like you see on the close-up picture, you can see that it has sort of scanning and I think maybe keeping him in check.
Now here we get a good look at the Goblin trying to stay still.
Yeah, but they obviously they fight. They fully, this is going to be a full Spider-Man versus Goblin battle, it looks like.
And he's got the pointed ears and his hair.
That crazy hair.
And he's got a headpiece.
He almost reminds me of the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark version of Green Goblin there.
Now here's, of course, the plane going down. Is that we see a woman's long hair? Could that be
Mary Parker?
Yeah, Peter's mom.
And then finally here at the end, we got kind of a bigger idea of the Electro battle, although that's Harry transforming, yeah.
Very cool stuff. Let's see.
And then, yeah,
these fellows right here. Now, these we think are probably Russian thugs in the employ of Alexei Sitsevich.
Yeah.
The Rhino.
But it looks like those are the two guys. And then right after that next shot, that's Gwen. I know that we'll talk about this in a second, but it looks like Gwen might be involved in the Goblin battle, which will start off as a speculation.
Now let's go back though and look at this young lady right here.
Yeah, and I wish I could remember the site that I first read this mention on, but a lot of people have noted that is almost certainly Shailene Woodley playing Mary Jane Watson, who's been cut from the film.
Yeah,
but there were photos
will probably
of her
be recast.
Yeah, and so we don't even know if this shot will be in the movie, or maybe it is, because it could be some random woman if they never show any other context. That was the costume and hair she had on set, and people saw that car
that
being
side
crashed.
braid.
Yeah, because they prepare trailers, before movies are done.
Yeah. Well, this is all very cool. We can't wait to see more of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 when it opens next year. Thanks for watching.
Sinister 6, baby.